love with you, Jesus. Oh, deeper in love, hold me.
The work of the church exists as a sacrament of salvation. What it simply means that our primary work is to preach the good news of the salvation that Jesus has won for us, to make people, through that gospel, find meaning in their life, save their soul, and of course enjoy heaven when it will be the right time. Okay, the church has always been partners. That's always what we call the church-state relationship. Okay, and as regards economy, I continue to say the church is not an economic institution as such, but she can give soul to it. She can call our attention to what we can do. If our economy does not, for instance, address the need of the poor, if it's only for the rich and only the rich, then there's a problem with that. The very word economy actually means our home. It's from the Greek word oikos. Oikos means home. So the whole idea of economy as a science is actually to help us manage this home. So the work of the church basically is to always call the attention of the government to this. The topic is financing the church's mission, evolving new strategy and framework. Yes, the church is one, but she is made present in different localities. I do not think I have all it takes within the time given me to explore these contexts. We will recall one of our renowned novelists who raised some issue a few months ago. And I can assure you, she's only one voice among many. I'm sure if I'm asked to give us the microphone to say something, we'll really say that it's a little bit above the normal thing, what we have today in our parochial churches. We see challenges of unfinished projects in our churches. Added to this is our own unique social context, our impoverished economy, our economic decisions. We must not just make decisions that are short-term, we must consider the future. Brothers and sisters, the mission of Christ is very important. The mission of Christ is ever relevant, and we cannot afford it to be downplayed in our own time. May God continue to bless us as we take along His direction through Christ our Lord.
This is the right time. I know nothing is too late. The church should have looked into this means before. That's how can the church finance itself? When we talk about the church, it's not only the church. Oftentimes from the parish I come from, you see some even within the church going to the church to seek for something to eat. If the church doesn't have a means, how will they be able to satisfy such people? And so this is the right time for the church to think of ways in which they can invest and be able to cater for the mission and also for the floor within their needs. Even within this all, do you have the right type of food to eat at the right time, meeting your needs, or you just eat because you want to eat? Now, the talk of the day is the agribusiness. Agribusiness is any business that is related to farming or farm that you need to earn something from it. Now we talk about the food security also. After oxygen and water, and food is the most essential need of human survival. Now the church also have the role of supporting sustainable livelihoods. You have the role, we have a lot of people, the poor people coming to the church. Oftentimes you ask us to donate for the poor. If you continue to give them food, they said, give me, if you continue to give them fish, and you don't give them the nets to catch the fish, you are only asking them to come every time and to depend on you. So with that, I want to say, these are some of the crops in the picture. And finally, I conclude that investing in agriculture and agro-allied industry is essential to the church future well-being. of proclaiming the gospel with more justifiable economic development rather than relying on people or their people within the church. Thank you for your attention.
No, there are several things the church stands to gain when they invest into agriculture. One, most importantly, they will be fulfilling their role in sustaining livelihood of the faithful within the church. Because if the faithful don't have enough means of livelihood, if they don't have means of livelihood, it could be difficult for them to grow spiritually. So if you want to grow the faith or the spirit of the faithful, there's need to provide a source of income from them. Most often we see faithful coming into the church as for charity, but rather than just giving, you can create a room, a forum for them where you can employ them.
Good day, everyone. My paper will just be a follow-up to the two previous presenters. The first presenter has highlighted the inadequacy of the traditional means of the church raising fund. It's not obsolete, certainly. The people of God still have a responsibility of supporting the mission of the church. However, it's inadequate. In 2 Corinthians chapter 11, verse 9, he made the same statement, a similar statement, when he said, "For you remember, brothers, our labor and our travel for working night and day, that we might not burden any of you while we preach to you the good news of Christ." And in fact, that's this Pauline practice of not becoming a burden to the people is at the root of Paul, even engaging in some personal activity, like we know he's a weaver. So even during his years, the time he spent in Corinth, he did, engage in some economic activity like weaving. And the social media and the smartphone. I'm sure each of us here, have a smartphone. So with the introduction of the smartphone and the social media in the beginning of the 21st century, that's accelerated the digital revolution. When wealth becomes an enemy itself, it becomes dangerous. In fact, it becomes idolatry. As Paul himself will say. So finally, my word is this: yes, we should not be afraid of the dangers, the risks that are involved in exploring new opportunities. We must never allow fear to prevent us from exploring new opportunities, new strategies of financing our mission. Thank you.